Hello, this is Ghost Rider 615, and I am talking about Representative CORI Bush and Representative Barbara Lee in their introduction of new legislation calling for $14 trillion in reparations for Black Americans. But I'd like to put that on hold for a minute to say that they're just picking up the banner where others have left off. And I'm going to tell you about especially one who actually sued successfully and won reparations. This was way back, talking about the 1800s. And her name was Henrietta Wood. She was born into slavery in Kentucky between 1818 and 1820. And to tell you the truth, that was a revelation to me. So this is not a new thing. If she alone could do it, just imagine what Black people together can do. The second person I'd like to talk about before we get into CORI Bush and Barbara Lee representatives, Queen Mother Audley Moore was always grounded in the right to self-determination and reparations. Over her long life as a Black nationalist activist and thinker, Moore's solutions to centuries of Black enslavement and oppression ranged from the formation of an independent all-Black country in the U.S. to demands for reparations, $200 billion worth. In 1963, she helped to establish the Reparations Committee of Descendants of U.S. Slaves, calling for a repayment of earned wages and benefits from the current American government. There should no longer be a conversation about do we deserve reparations, and why should the descendants of ex-slave owners give us reparations. You're not giving us anything. And stop acting like, we have to ask for permission from everything. Stop acting like a slave, okay? Demanding what was rightfully ours. This nation was built on the wages, on the backs of Black slaves and other indigenous people also. But for us, we never received ours. Germany, Japan, the Jews, the Asians. We can talk about Israel. All of these people have gotten some type of reparation, and even we can go as far as back in slavery, they actually paid ex-slave owners for property or human property that they lost, okay? And they never gave the 40 acres and a mule, but they gave 160 acres to millions of Europeans that came over here to populate the West. You don't talk about that. And something else that we don't talk about is the reason why you should be held responsible is if you benefit off of slavery of your forefathers and you inherited all of that money from back then you have a responsibility to follow through on the deeds that they did not do, okay? That's why you're paying us, okay? And that shouldn't even have to be said. That is a lame excuse, and it's something that you always come up with when you have no other recourse. You don't want us to ever be able to stay in neighborhoods next to you. I don't want to stay next to you. I just want my own, and I want what's due me. And I feel like this in my heart and soul and spirit that we do our ancestors a disservice by not getting and following through on reparations. Why do you think our ancestors toiled and did everything that they did for us so that we could have a better life? So don't believe in that sick, twisted slave mind that the Willie Lynches of this world has actually conditioned us to believe. They condition us to hate each other, to be jealous of each other, be envious of each other. And now when it comes down to actually coming together as a family, okay, to support Africa and to actually get reparations for us and our children and our progeny that's coming, you know, after me and after y'all, you act like you don't want it. That is a slave right there, okay? Now, one thing that we have to understand is we have to not only get behind Representative CORI Bush and Barbara Lee on this reparation thing. We have to actually start holding our legislators and anybody, even if, I don't care if they're in the Supreme Court and they're not doing what they're supposed to do and they look like us, we need to start getting them out of there. Now, it might be too late for some people, and some people might already be in there. We can't get them, but we can sure let them know that we don't like them. We don't like what they're doing, and the ones that we can't get them out of here. Okay? You're nothing but a traitor anyway. So you're no good to us. And when something's no good to you, you need to stop it. Okay. Now, something else that we have to look at. Okay? That these people do not want us to prosper. One of the things that in the preamble of the Constitution, it talks about we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish the Constitution for the United States of America. Now, we know that they weren't talking about us, because back then they constituted us as 3/5 of a human being, but this was all supposed to be changed, right, with the 13, 14, 15 amendments, right? So this book right here, the Constitution, tells me that America does not keep its word. It only thinks and looks at European wealth and their needs. So we have to fight and demand for what is truly ours. Okay? Before I leave this, I want to say something else. Black people have to come together at some point in time. Those of us who are rich, you are so fearful that the man's going to take what he's given you, and so therefore you won't even support your own people. So I'm calling on the people to get rid of them. I mean, aren't you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Not having any kind of representation? See, we have to start thinking like Europeans at one time or another, okay? Stop, ask, and take. I'm not saying going out here with any violence or anything, but stop asking your master for something because your master don't want you to have anything, okay? You are your own master. You are God. You have the power to do all of the things that you want and need to do. You just have to stop thinking like a slave, okay? Get your true African mind back. Think of your ancestors. Think of your children. Stop thinking like you think and think like the God of your ancestors think. And this is all I have for you. This is Ghost Rider 615 calling a call to action. Support your people who are trying to do something positive for your community. Ghost Rider 615 out.